Hello, I'm the first chapter, and welcome to WRPL, a segment on my channel where I talk about what I watched, read, played, and listened to in the past month. It's kind of like a wrap-up video, but instead of just talking about books, I talk about everything that I just mentioned. Also, it's December! I gotta put this down before I start dropping it everywhere. Hopefully I'm going to be adding more and more decorations with the more videos I post in December, because that might be fun. For now, it's just candy cane and hat. The hat's probably not gonna stay for all of the videos. Let's discuss what I WRPL'd in the month of November. So in the month of November, I didn't really have any time to watch any full-on movies because most of my time was dedicated to practicing / going to rehearsals for the performance I was in. If you want more information on that, you can click right here. I ended up just watching a bunch of TV shows in November. Started watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is a TV show about cops, and they're in Brooklyn. I mean, that's fairly obvious. Andy Samberg is in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and he's hilarious. He's, like, extremely funny, and I don't know, it's a funny TV show about cops and the shenanigans that happen in Precinct. Another TV show that I've been watching recently is the TV show Orville. Orville is like a Star Trek parody, and it's hilarious. It's all about them, like, discovering new places, kind of like Star Trek, but it's also extremely funny. It's brilliantly written, and I would definitely recommend it if you are interested in, like, the whole sci-fi comedy stuff. Also, what's kind of interesting is that they brought on some old Star Trek writers, and they're working with comedy writers to make this amazing mashup of brilliant sci-fi comedy, and I love it. Oh, and another thing I thought would kind of be really cool to, like, bring up in this whole watching section now is I could talk about, like, booktubers I've been watching a lot recently, and I think that could be kind of cool to incorporate into the WRPL videos. You know, spread the love and whatnot. There's two channels that I want to talk about today, Honey Books and Brittany and Books, aka Natalie and Brittany. Both of them have amazing channels and great content, and I feel like a lot of people should check out their channel because of that. Both of them are doing Vlogmas right now, which is perfect for you because if you subscribe to them, you're gonna get daily videos from them. Their Vlogmas videos so far have been very entertaining and interesting, so definitely check them out. The links will be in the description, as with everything else I talk about in this video. Reading, what the? We're going to talk about reading now. In the month of November, I didn't actually read too much. Pretty much what I read in my 24-hour reading challenge is what I read for the month of November. It was a bad reading month. But I did listen to the audiobook Shutter Island, which I think was my favorite book that I consumed in the month of November because of how interesting it was. I'm really happy that I went with the audiobook and not the actual book because I think I might have found the book a little boring if it wasn't in audiobook format, but that might just be me. I could tell that there was some moments that did, like, drag a bit, and if I was reading, I might get bored easily, but since this was an audiobook, it was much easier to get through. Other than it being a bit slow in some areas, I absolutely loved the audiobook. I'm gonna read you guys the synopsis of Shutter Island because I don't want to screw it up, and I feel like I would screw it up if I try to, so here we go. The year is 1945. U.S. Marshal Teddy Daniels and his new partner, Chuck, have come to Shutter Island, home of Ashcliff Hospital for the Criminally Insane, to investigate the disappearance of a patient. Multi-murderess Rachel Salandro is loose somewhere on this barren island, despite having been kept up locked under cell in constant surveillance all night. As a killer hurricane bears relentlessly down on them, a strange case takes even darker, more sinister shades, with hints of radical experimentation, horrifying surgeries, and lethal countermoves made in the case to convert a shadow war. No one is going to escape Shutter Island unscathed because nothing at Ashcliff Hospital is remotely what it seems. If that description doesn't make you want to read this book, I don't know what to tell you. Oh my gosh, the ending still is driving me crazy. If you have never seen the movie / read the book, I guarantee you it would be impossible for you to guess the end of this book. It is impossible. When I first started reading this book, I was like, this is how this book is going to end because I can kind of see how this would all play out. but it didn't. I also read the 3rd volume of Saga last month. If you don't know what Saga is, it's basically these two people that like each other, they have a kid, except these two people are from different worlds, and their two worlds are at war with each other. One's from a moon that's orbiting this planet, and the moon people and the planet people are fighting against each other. It's basically about people chasing after the two lovers and their child, and it's really interesting, and the 3rd volume lived up to the first 2. I also read the first 2 volumes of Paper Girls, which is a graphic novel series about these 4 girls that deliver paper, but then something really crazy happens in their town. And I don't really want to say anything else because I would spoil something, and I don't want to spoil it for you because it's amazing. If you like Stranger Things, you will definitely like Paper Girls. That's all I have to say. Speaking of Stranger Things, flawless transition. I recently got the Stranger Things game app. You can get this on your Android and Apple devices. And it's like this 8-bit adventure type game. As far as I can tell, it's the first season storyline, and the scoring of this game, it's like the 8-bit sounds you would regularly hear, but like also Stranger Things mixed in with that. It's great. So I did not listen to many things in the month of November. I don't know if you guys have like gone through this at all, but like there's no new songs that have come out that I'm like, yes, gonna put that on repeat. So that's kind of disappointing. Hopefully that goes away soon. The one thing that I did listen to a lot in the month of November is this podcast called Do Go On. Do Go On is hosted by Dave, Matt, and Jess, and one of the 3 report on something every single week. One of them, they pick something from a hat that the listeners have like submitted in, and they do a report on that subject. So before, they talked about the maple syrup heist that Canada had, and they talk about it. I think they're all comedians, which, you know, helps make it funny. So I'm just gonna like read out some of the things they've recently talked about. So the Great Maple Syrup Heist, like I said before, Harry Houdini, Cleopatra, Benjamin Franklin, Charlie Chaplin, the Wright brothers, J.R.R. Tolkien. They talk about Coca-Cola, The Simpsons, Scientology, The Last Japanese Soldiers, Jack the Ripper, the Zodiac Killer. They even talked about Elvis Presley, which is probably one of my favorite episodes ever. I'll leave a link so you can check out their podcast down below if you're interested in podcasts. I'm not sure if any of my viewers are actually interested in podcasts. I'm really interested in podcasts, so if one person out there likes podcasts, would definitely recommend it to you. So that is it for my Whirlpool of November. What did you Whirlpool in November? I would love to hear from you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. And hey, if you liked this video, that means you're probably gonna like the future videos that I post here on this channel. So maybe hit that like button and subscribe. I will see you guys soon in another one of my videos because I post them every single Tuesday and Friday. I will see you guys then. Goodbye!